All right, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. Let's begin. First idiom you should know is to break the ice. To break the ice simply just means to start or initiate a conversation or social interaction in a tense or an uncomfortable situation. For example, I decided to break the ice by asking everyone about their weekend plans. The next idiom you should know is to cost an arm and a leg. Now, if something costs an arm and a leg, it simply just means that it's really, really expensive. So, for example, the new iPhone cost an arm and a leg, but I still want to buy it. In other words, the new iPhone is very expensive, but I still want to buy it. Now, if something is a piece of cake, it simply means that it's very easy to do, on the contrary. So, for example, don't worry, passing this exam will be a piece of cake for you. All right. So, in other words, this exam will be easy. Passing this exam will be very easy for you to do. Next is to hit the nail on the head. Now, if somebody hits the nail on the head, it's simply describing exactly what is causing a situation or a problem. So, for example, Sarah hit the nail on the head when she pointed out the main flaw in our project. The next idiom is to bite the bullet. So, if somebody needs to bite the bullet, it just means that they need to endure or go through a painful or difficult situation in a brave manner. So, for example, I knew I had to bite the bullet and apologize, even though I didn't want to. Next is once in a blue moon. Now, if something happens once in a blue moon, it simply just means that it happens very rarely. So, for example, my sister visits me once in a blue moon. She lives so far away. In other words, my sister visits me almost never. She does not visit me very often. She lives so far away. Okay, once in a blue moon. If somebody is under the weather, it just means that they're feeling sick. So, for example, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so I'm going to stay home and rest. Break a leg is just an informal or fun way to say good luck to somebody, especially before a performance or an event. So, for example, break a leg on your audition tomorrow. I know you'll do great. In other words, good luck with your audition tomorrow. I know you'll do great. If something is out of the blue, it simply means that it happened unexpectedly or without any kind of a warning sign. So, for example, I hadn't heard from Sarah in years. Then, out of the blue, she called me yesterday. So, in other words, I hadn't heard from Sarah in years. Then, unexpectedly, without warning, she called me yesterday. Now, if somebody is going to hit the hay, it just means that they're going to go to bed or go to sleep, simply put. So, for example, it's getting late. I think I'll hit the hay soon. I think I'll go to bed soon. Now, if you're going to keep an eye on something or keep an eye on someone, it simply means that you're going to watch or monitor them very closely. So, for example, could you keep an eye on my bag while I go to the restroom? In other words, could you watch my bag while I go to the restroom? If the ball is in your court, it simply means that it's now your turn to make a decision or take an action. So, for example, I've done all that I can. Now the ball is in your court to decide. In other words, I did an action and now it is your time to take a decision. The ball is in your court to make a decision. Now, if somebody wants a piece of the pie, this can literally mean they want a piece of pie, but idiomatically speaking, a piece of the pie simply means a share of something, especially profits or benefits when you're discussing something pertaining to doing business. So, for example, Everyone in the company should get a fair piece of the pie. In other words, everybody in the company should get a fair amount of profits based on the job that they are doing. If you're burning the midnight oil, it simply means that you're working very late into the night. So, for example, I had to burn the midnight oil to finish my project before the deadline. I had to work late into the night to finish my project before the deadline. Now, if somebody hits the jackpot, it simply means to achieve great success or win a large prize. Now, this can be literal if you're gambling at a casino and you hit the jackpots, but this can also be used as an idiom or expression to symbolize that you achieved great success. So, for example, when I found that rare antique at the flea market, I felt like I hit the jackpot. Now, if there's more than meets the eye with someone or something, it simply means that there's more than what one would initially perceive in that person, in that situation, or in that object. So, for example, there's more than meets the eye with this employee. In other words, there's more than what we can see on the surface with this employee. Now, if we're in the same boat, it simply means that we are in the same situation or the same predicament as each other. So, for example, we're all struggling with this project deadline. We're in the same boat. In other words, we're all struggling with this project deadline. We are in the same situation. If something is a dime a dozen, it just means that it's very common and therefore of little value because it's so easily accessible. So, for example, those cheap knockoff watches are a dime a dozen. You can find them anywhere. Now, if someone's going to spill the beans, it simply means to disclose or reveal information prematurely. So, for example, I can't believe you spilled the beans about the surprise party. Now it's ruined. In other words, I can't believe that you revealed the secret about the surprise party. Now it's ruined. Another idiom that you must know is hit the road. Now, if someone's going to hit the road, it just means that they're going to begin a journey or leave a place. So, for example, it's getting late. We should hit the road before it gets dark. And there you have it, 20 English idioms that are very versatile. You can use them in several different situations. I think you need to know these 20 if you want to speak English fluently or even understand native English speakers as they speak. Now, if you need any help with your English, simply send us a message on Instagram or refer to the link in the description of this video or the pinned comments. And I create a free English fluency guide. It'll show you how to become fluent in English from A to Z. That's all. Until next time.